Hello children, welcome back to English class. Today's session we are going to learn from Unit 4 poem. The title is Ulysses and it was written by Alfred Tennyson. First we see about the poet. Alfred Tennyson, first Baron Tennyson, was born on 6th August 1809 and died on 6th October 1892. He was a British poet. He was the poet laureate of Great Britain and Ireland during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains one of the most popular British poets. Tennyson excelled at penning short lyrics such as Break, 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 The Charge of the Light Brigade, Tears, Idle Tears, and Crossing the Bar. He wrote verses on classical mythology such as Ulysses, Idylls of the King, and Tithonus. Tennyson's use of the musical qualities of words to emphasize his rhythms and meanings is sensitive. First, we see the gist of the poem. The poem Ulysses is a dramatic monologue that contains 70 lines of blank verse. Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, gathers his men together to prepare for the journey and exhorts them not to waste their time left on the earth. Ulysses has grown old, having experienced many adventures at the Battle of Troy and in the seas. After returning to Ithaca, he desires to embark upon his next voyage. His inquisitive spirit is always looking forward to more and more of such adventures. The poem can be divided into three parts. The first part is the thirst for adventure, which does not allow Ulysses to remain in his kingdom as a mere ruler. And the second part is Ulysses handing over the responsibility to his son Telemachus with a total confidence in his abilities. And the third part is Ulysses' clarion call to his sailors, urging them to venture into unknown lands. Let's see the poem in detail. In this poem, we have totally 17 stanzas. So today's session, we are going to see first 8 stanzas. Listen carefully. Meanwhile, I'll ask you questions. Ulysses. It little profits that an idle king by this still hearth among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole unequal loss unto a savage race. Here, hearth means the floor of a fireplace. Barren means incapable of producing offspring. Meet and dole means a punishment. In the first stanza, the poet says that Ulysses is the king of Ithaca. After great journey, which includes wars, has come his own city. After his advent, he tries to stay in his home kingdom. But the adventurous life he lived is contrary to the present life. In this kingdom, he has to sit idle and stay with his wife Penelope. He is administrating the people and judging them. Okay, what does Ulysses do? Think well and try to get answer. Yes, Ulysses meets people and talks to them about the loss. Okay? Yes. Okay, did he enjoy what he was doing? No, he did not enjoy what he was doing. Why? Because his main goal was to travel for adventure, isn't it? Yes, that hard and sleep and feed, and no, not me. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All the times I have enjoyed. Greatly have suffered greatly, both with those. Here, hoard means a stock or store of money or valued objects. Drink life to the lees. That means drink to the very last drop. Here it means that live life to the fullest. In the second stanza, in his kingdom, people do not know the Ulysses as he is always on adventurous wars and voyages. He thinks this life is waste when compared with the previous life. He also complains that the people are savage and they only eat and sleep. Not only that, Ulysses here decides that he cannot rest and wants to travel beyond. He does not want to live his life staying idle, but to enjoy his life in adventurous way even in old age. He wants to live in that way till his last breath. He remembers the great life which is surrounded with joys and sufferings. Okay, how does Ulysses want to live? Yes, he wants to live his life to the fullest, isn't it? Yes. Can you describe the experience of Ulysses? Yes, Ulysses has enjoyed greatly and suffered also greatly, isn't it? Okay. What does he think of the people of his kingdom? Yes, he thinks that the people of his kingdom are savage people, isn't it? Yes. That loved me and alone on shore and when through scudding drifts the rainy Hades, vexed the dim, I am become a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. Here, scudding means moving rapidly because of the wind. Hyades means a group of stars in the constellation Taurus, often associated with rain. Vexed means upset. In this third stanza, Ulysses waded through his life with his loved ones and sometimes he has to face it alone. He uses through scudding drifts the rainy Hades to speak about his coming out of the storms and obstacles over the sea. He has earned a name for himself, a constant traveler. He always roams around with a hungry heart. Hungry heart stands for his strong desire to travel to unknown places. Okay, how did Ulysses go around? Yes, he always went around with a hungry heart. So, always he wanted to see new places, isn't it? Okay. Much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. Here, delight means great pleasure. Peers means a group of people of approximately the same age. In the fourth stanza, Ulysses has also come into contact with the cities, manners of them, climates, governments, councils. He says he is respected as he journeyed most parts of the world and he has turned towards the war experience he has in his life. He also remembers his war participation in all the plains. And he is a famous name. He has seen the world and has been honored everywhere. He also has enjoyed battling in all the plains. Okay, what has Ulysses gained from his travel experiences? Think well and try to get answer. Yes, he has seen and known people of many cities, and not only that, he has come to know the manner, climate, councils, and governments of different cities also, isn't it? Okay. For on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have met. Yet all experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades. Here, gleams means shine brightly. In the fifth stanza, the poet expresses the vast experience of Ulysses. He describes his intention to travel to unknown place to gain knowledge and experience. He also has enjoyed battling at Troy with his fellow warriors. He is a part of all that he has met, but this is not the end, for his experience is an archway to new experiences with the horizon always beyond reach. He also expresses that he was part of Trojan War which was fought in Troy. This shows that Ulysses has become part of all the experiences. He has never been passive, and not only that, here he speaks again about his untraveled world. Okay, what is experience compared to? Yes, here experience is compared to an arch. Why? Because through this one can see the unknown world, isn't it? Yes. Forever and forever when I move, how dull it is to pass, to make an end, to rest unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life. Here, to rest unburnished means to let go waste without being used. Here, Ulysses, through these lines, speaks of his wastage of time in Ithaca, where he could not satisfy the art thrust of adventurous journey life. He says he moves often, but he does not like staying in one place and wants to move on further. In his opinion, to rest is to rust. He wants to shine in use rather than being rested. He shows his hurry through these words that even our life is blessed with multiple lifetimes. Time will be insufficient to touch all places of the world. Thus, these lines show the tiredness of monotonic life of Ithaca for him. Were all too little, and of one to me, little remains, but every hour is saved. From that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things, and while it were. Here, eternal means lasting or existing forever without end, while means extremely unpleasant. Here, Ulysses begins to decide how his life should be in remaining time. He quotes of his death and the time towards it. The remaining time should provide a more energetic new exploration and enjoyment. He remembers that he has already wasted the time to be in Ithaca rather than enjoying the old way of life. Okay, how is every hour important to Ulysses? Yes, Ulysses wants to utilize whatever time is left with him. So, every hour is important to him, isn't it? Yes, for some 3 suns to store and hoard myself, and this grey spirit yearning in desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star, beyond the utmost bound of human thought. Here, 3 suns means 3 long years. Yearning means a feeling of intense longing for something. In this stanza, he uses Grey Spirit to remind us that he is old and near to death, but not to his willpower. These lines refer his death thoughts, remaining lifetime and finding knowledge. His quest for knowledge goes beyond ordinary people. He wants to follow knowledge like a sinking star. The expression sinking star is ambiguous. Ulysses wants to chase after knowledge and try to catch it as it sinks like a star. Or it may mean Ulysses himself who is moving closer to death. So he is sinking like a star. He wants to gain knowledge which may be beyond the human thoughts. Okay, what does Ulysses yearns for? Yes, Ulysses yearns for knowledge. He looks at every hour as a bringer of new things, isn't it? Yes. Let's see few glossaries from the poem. Idle, lazy, hearth, the floor of a fireplace, barren, incapable of producing offspring, savage, fires are violent and uncontrolled, meat and dole, a punishment, hoard, a stock or store of money or valued objects. Drink life to the lees. Drink to the very last drop. Here, live life to the fullest. Scudding, moving rapidly because of the wind. Hyades, a group of stars in the constellation Taurus, often associated with rain. Vexed, upset, peers, a group of people of approximately the same age. Delight, great pleasure. Gleams, shine brightly. To rest unburnished, to let go waste without being used. Eternal, lasting or existing forever without end. While extremely unpleasant. 3 suns, 3 long years. Yearning, a feeling of intense longing for something. Okay, children, up to this I stop. Hope you understand. Rest we will see in the next video. Okay, thank you.